Alexander Pushkin, the soul of the Russian people. A precocious child, a teenage genius, a rebel-rouser, womanizer, drunkard, gambler, and the Shakespeare of Russia. Pushkin gave importance to the Russian language when French was a language spoken by the Tsar and his court. Pushkin became the father of Russian literature by recounting the many fables, folk tales, and stories of the Russian people. He devised new words and phrases, infusing them into Russian. He encouraged many Russian writers who came after him. Although his life was short, only 37 years, he left examples of almost every literary genre: lyrical poetry, narrative poetry, novels, short stories, dramas, critical essays, and personal letters. "'Tis time, my friend, 'tis time, the heart to peace aspires. Day follows day, the rolling stream of hours crumbles the banks of being, and you and I had thought to live, and yet, behold, we die. Though joy forever flees, peace stays, and concentration. For long now has it been my consolation, hard-driven slave to plan rebellious flight, to some far sanctuary of work and chaste delight. I loved you, and that love, to die refusing, may still, who knows, be smouldering in my breast. Be not you pained, believe me, of my choosing, I'd never have you troubled, nor yet distressed. I loved you mutely, hopelessly, and truly, with shy yet fervent tenderness aglow. Mine was a jealous passion and unruly, may another love you so. Upon the hills of Georgia lies the haze of night, below the agave foams. The sadness that fills the void of days is strangely half delight. 'Tis both sweet pain and sweeter gladness. Because you haunt my heart, it cannot be at rest, and yet 'tis light and untormented by morbid thoughts. It loves because it must, and for all that, I remain contented. Sing, lovely one, I beg no more, the songs of Georgia in my presence, for of a distant life and shore, this mournful sound calls up remembrance, for of a moonlit step this night, that cruelly vengefully reminds me of your face long lost to sight, well loved but left, alas, behind me. Sing, lovely one, I beg no more, the songs of Georgia in my presence, for of a distant life and shore, that mournful sound calls up remembrance. Love's Lament. When in my arms your slender form, made bold by tenderness, I capture, and words of love impetuous warm pour out of you in joy and rapture. In silence from my rash embrace you free yourself, and for an instant a smile upon your face, at once mistrustful, wan, and distant. Too promptly has your memory stored of all my errant ways the rumor. I speak, and you are out of humor. I plead my cause, and you are bored. Oh, how I indulge my sweet diversions, and pleasures of my thoughtless youth. Love's nightly meetings and excursions, to love's warm bed and blazing hearth. My verse whose sound does stimulate, and stir the blood of trifling lasses, bestowed too soon with fond caresses, and their laments that came too late. Womanhood. O wondrous moment there before me, a radiant fleeting dream you stood, a visioned fancy fashioned for me, a glimpse of perfect womanhood. Through all life's sadness all is flaunted by hopeless flurry and unrest. Spirit haunted, your tender voice my ear caressed. Swift tempest o'er me wrathful breaking, dispel the dulcet dreams of yore. Your image blurred, my heart forsaking, your voice caressed my ear no more. In cold and gloomy isolation, the years sped by, those lonely years, bereft of God, of inspiration, bereft of life and love and tears. And then, O bliss, time's flight defeating, you came again and for me stood, a vision radiant and fleeting, a dream of perfect womanhood. My heart is filled with sweet elation, anew it craves, anew reveres. It is awake to inspiration, it is awake to life, love and tears. The Captive. A captive alone in a dungeon I dwell, entombed in the stillness and murk of a cell. Outside in the courtyard, in wild frenzied play, my comrade, an eagle, has pounced on his prey. Then leaving the blood-splattered morsel his eye, he fixes on me with a dolorous cry, a cry that is more like a call or a plea. "'Tis time," he is saying, "'tis time, let us flee. We're both wed to freedom, so let us away, to where lonely storm clouds courageously stray, where turbulent seas rush to merge with the sky, where only the winds dare to venture, and I. Not long did youth's vain hope delude us, its dreams of love and prideful fame did briefly, fleetingly pursue us, then passed like mist and no more came. While freedom's flame within us lives, while we by honor's voice are guided, to the earth, citizens, let us give our spirits whole and undivided. Dear friends, have faith, the wakeful skies presage a vision of wonder. Earth shall from her age-old sleep arise and turn ruins into mirth and laughter. The Prophet. My lonely heart athirst, I trod a barren waste, when there before me a winged cherub silent stood at the crossroads waiting. Upon my orbs of sightless clay his fingers light as dreams he lay, and like an eagle's eyes when frightened, the bird's eyes they did open and sighted the earth and sky. He touched my ear, then t'other, and most marked and clear there came to me the gentle flutter of angels' wings. I heard the vine push through the earth and skyward climb, and deep monsters under water like fish did glide. My sinful tongue from out my sly mouth he wrung, and with his bloody hand he did o'er me lean, and pushed the serpent's sting between my deadened lips. Then, swiftly drawing his shining sword, he cleaved open my breast, plucked out my quivering heart, and had coolly thrust into the gaping hole an ember that burst into flame. I lay there, dead, and God, he spake, and this he said, "Arise, O sage, my summons hearing, do as I bid, be naught deterred, stray o'er the earth a prophet searing the hearts of men with righteous word." When I am gone. Whether the streets I roam or enter, a crowded church, or spend the night in wild company, no matter, my thoughts pursue its restless flight. This do I know, swift is life's passage, and all of us now gathered here will glimpse ere long death's dreaded face. Already someone's hour draws near. Upon an ancient oak tree gazing, I whisper, awed, when I am gone 'twill still be here, the woodland gracing. My fathers went, the trees grow on. And playing with the child I murmured, farewell, my place I cede to thee. My hour is close at hand, it's time for me to rot, for you to flower. Each day, each year that passes transient, I follow, mute, my every slight decline, towards the moment of my doom, impatient, while attempting vain to be divine. Will I be claimed by death in warfare, whilst on my travels midst the waves? Or will a neighbouring valley offer my cold remains a quiet grave? Where one is laid for sleep eternal is all the same to lifeless clay, yet 'tis beneath the dome eternal that I rest, day upon day. Over my tomb, life ever youthful, might then a bubbling fountain flow, and nature, beautiful and wistful, shed unconcerned its dazzling glow. Of my mad years the vanished mirth and laughter affect me like a fume-filled morning after, not so past pain, like wine it is to me, that as the years go by gains potency. Sad is the path before me, toil and sorrow lie on the restless seaways of the morrow. And yet from thought of death, my friends, I shrink. I want to live, to suffer, and to think, to taste of care and grief and tribulation, of rapture and sweet exhilaration, be drunk with harmony, touch fancy's strings, and freely weep over its imaginings, and love's last flash, its smile of farewell tender, my sad decline may yet less mournful render. The soul of the Russian people. When we speak of Pushkin, it doesn't matter whether the occasion is the anniversary of his birth or death. We make of it neither a jubilee nor a requiem. We simply use it as an opportunity for celebrating once again in Pushkin's precocious talent, and through it meeting Pushkin himself in all the liveliness and brilliance of his intellect, character, and personality. Alexander Pushkin, 125th anniversary of Pushkin's death in 1962.